McKeshow. Enter and see what we got. Okay. Now, still, when you go to, there must be a YouTube thing, because when you go to YouTube now, you still get Wednesday night service, not getting live TV.
Well, on YouTube doesn't, it's not live on YouTube. We have to push this show out.
It's after, okay. So I need to go back to the Wiley Drake show. Okay, sorry about that.
Ustream is the only place that it's live.
Okay. Okay, this is broadcast. It says broadcast started 1 minute ago. And okay. Okay, I see me, but let's see. I gotta Okay, we're up on Ustream now. But if I understand what you're saying, then they need to go to the WileyDrakeShow.com, not Ustream, to get the Wiley Drake Show. Except
either one, but they can't go to YouTube until the show's over.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, see, I didn't know that. Okay, very good. Okay, we are up then live now, and we are back with you, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to unmute this. And all right, folks. Here are the statements from the city in reference to the Michael Sallman case. The city says Bible studies are not allowed to be conducted in your residence or barn on your property. That's not only unconstitutional, it's ungodly. In the letter it says Miss Kinsley is requesting information about why Bible studies are not allowed. Councilman Maddox has brought your request to our attention regarding conducting Bible studies at your residence. Until the appropriate permits and approvals have been obtained, church-related activities, including Bible studies, are not allowed. Folks, that's ungodly and unconstitutional. None of these letters advising the Sallman that they were not permitted to host Bible studies in their home refers to concern over any objective factors such as number of guests or vehicles. Rather, the restriction is based solely on the religious purpose of the gathering. This represents a clear violation of citizens' fundamental right to freely exercise their religion, which is protected by the First Amendment and considered to be America's first freedom. In June of 2009, nearly a dozen police officers, accompanied by city inspectors, raided the Sallman's property, searching for violations. Having determined that Sallman's weekly Bible studies constituted a church, city officials subsequently charged Michael, with being in violation of various codes and regulations that apply to commercial and public buildings, including having no emergency exit signs over the doors. Been there, done that. We put up exit signs over our door. No handicap parking spaces or handicap ramps. Sallman was later found guilty of 67 code violations. Where is Michael now? Well, right now we're not sure. But the latest we had was he is currently serving a 60-day jail term in the tent city in Maricopa County. The tent's jail began in 1993 as a response to jail overcrowding, housing inmates outdoor in military tents with 4 skywatch towers for security, stun fences around the perimeter, facial recognition computer software, and inmate identification with K-9 units and patrol deputies for additional security. a concentration camp in the United States of America. I know some of you people think Joe Arpaio is a good man. He is not a good man. He is a politician playing on the fact that people say, yeah, put all them bad people in jail and don't give them a country club, yada, yada, yada. Why shouldn't the salesman have to comply with city zoning and building codes? Many of you are asking that question. The salesman should have to comply with applicable laws, and they're willing to do so. But the city is applying the wrong set of laws to the salesman, based purely on the fact that their activities are religious in nature. The city would never require a family residence to comply with commercial building codes just because a family hosted a weekly poker night for guests, a regular Cub Scout meeting on Monday night football games. Do you have to go into a commercial license to invite your friends over to a ball game or a scout troop or a poker night? Yet the city argues that because the Solomon gatherings are religious, they convert the property to a formal church and trigger commercial building codes. How ridiculous. What are the implications of this case for other Phoenix residents? The potential implications are serious and many. For instance, if the city can apply its building code to residential property, then homeschooling facilities could be treated as having an educational group. Dinner parties could be ruled gatherings of persons for food and drink consumption. They could convert homes to an assembly group A use and gatherings for social functions such as playing games, watching movies, would make homes an assembly group A use. Each of these uses would require the home to conform to rigorous construction code requirements, including the installation of sprinkler systems, handicap accessible restrooms, and parking spaces, including exit signs, etc. A line must be drawn between uses that are residential and those that are commercial or public in nature. It is an affront to the religious freedom of every American for the city to conclude that religious worship, even where it includes invited friends and family members, is separate from activities that are appropriately taken in a family's home. In fact, the construction code itself states that homes and their accessory structures are to be governed by the International Residential Code, not the construction code under which Mr. Solomon was convicted. But weren't the Solomon Bible studies open to the public? No. The only time persons unknown to the Solomon attended the Bible study was when a private investigator, under the pretext that he was a friend of another family involved in Bible study, attended the meeting. This was being the first time Suzanne Salzman had been confronted with an attendee unknown to her. She allowed him and his putative wife and grandchildren to participate for the sake of demonstrating hospitality. Based on this lie, the investigator has since falsely claimed that his attendance proves the meeting was open to the public. Since when is hospitality proof that you're open to the public? What about the charges that the Solomons routinely had 80 to 100 people? The size of the building studies ranged from 20 to 45 people, depending on the day of the week and time. The only time that 80 people were ever at the Salzman's residence was for a Christmas gathering. The Salzman's social gathering are no different in size from their neighbors, who have had many people in attendance in their events. For example, on May 20th, one of the days on which Michael Salman is charged with violating his probation by having more than 12 people at his home for a Bible study, one of his neighbors hosted a social gathering at his home. More than 30 cars were parked along the street for the neighbors' gathering, and some cars double parked along the street. However, the Salman were cited for having a religious gathering, despite the fact that none of their guests had parked their cars on the street. The Salmans have a 501c3 organization. Does that make them a church? The Salzman have operated a charitable organization for over 10 years. Their ministry involves visiting those in prison to comfort them, pray with them, and teach them about the Bible. The existence of the registered 501c3 organization facilitates their being allowed into prison for this purpose. How does the fact that Bible study participants tithe affect things? Believing that tithing is part of worship, those who attend the Bible studies take part in a collection that is donated to different charities and ministries of their choosing. None of the money goes to Michael or Suzanne. However, the simple act of tithing does not transform the Bible study gathering into a church, just as the simple act of purchasing products at a Tupperware party does not transform a home into a retail store. Tupperware folks in Phoenix, you better look out. The city will be coming after you. Did the Salzman hand out pamphlets advertising the Bible studies? The Salzman used to have pamphlets that they handed out only to those who came to their home for the Bible studies. They did not distribute them on the street or to anyone they didn't know. In an effort to make it easier for everyone to keep track of what's going on, pamphlets provided participants with a list of what was happening. Now, we're going to get this other line. Good morning. God bless you, and welcome to the Wiley Drake Show. You're live on the air with us.
Hi, this is Greg Robbins.
Greg Robbins, thank you so much for calling, my dear brother. God bless you, and thank you for being on the Wiley Drake Show. Greg Robbins, tell our listening audience who you are and what you're going to talk to us about, would you please?
Absolutely, and thank you for having me back. I'm a Christian filmmaker, and we have just produced an anti-bullying movie. It's a true story that happened 41 years ago, and in addition to the movie coming out right now, it's called Race to the Finish. You can learn more about it at racetothefinishthemovie.com. I wrote a study guide to love and acceptance that goes along with it, and myself as the director and the writer, along with the three main actors that play the boy that was bullied, our hero, and the bully, we travel around to schools and youth groups and correctional facilities, teaching kids how to love and accept each other through the grace of Jesus Christ.
Well, brother, obviously today there is a great deal of emphasis on this whole subject of bullying, and it's good to see that a good organization is producing something that deals with it from what I call a Judeo-Christian principle. Tell our listening audience how they can get the trailer and see the trailer on the movie.
Oh, well, and you can also get the DVD, and the study guide is free at racetothefinishthemovie.com. Racetothefinishthemovie.com. It's a beautiful story. It's been endorsed by everybody from Robert Plant of Led Zeppelin to Golden Globe nominated actor Chris Burke. The boy that committed suicide here where we did it, Jamie Rodemeyer, his parents, he committed suicide because he couldn't handle one more day of being bullied at school. and he killed himself. He took his own life at 14 years old. His parents watched it, Tracy and Tim Rodemeyer, and they've endorsed it. And when you see this movie and you see this boy's story, this is a true story, but it's a mentally handicapped boy that he finds out he can run really fast, and he's bullied through this entire process, but somebody stands up and helps him, and through this time he teaches everybody around him love and acceptance and the truth. And this movie, no matter who watches it, it touches their lives. And so that's why we're continuing on and doing the story, doing the study guide. And Wiley, let me take a few minutes to say that 50 years ago, the most powerful influence on the planet, it came from the pulpit. Today, it's the movie and the TV screen.
Yeah.
When people buy a movie ticket and go to all of the sporting events put together, David Frost once said that television and movies are inventions that allow us to be entertained in our living room by people we would not have in our home. Well, what are those influences today? They're sad, evil, pornographic, and violent. Look what just happened in Aurora, Colorado, Wiley.
Yep.
That is art, because life imitates art. If you feed people evil, they spread evil. We're here spreading love. When you watch a movie like Race to the Finish, you were built up, you were encouraged. 1 Thessalonians 5:11, encourage one another and build each other up. When you support movies like Race to the Finish, you are helping put the authority and the power and the influence back where it belongs, back at the pulpit.
All right. Now, if folks want to see the movie, how do they do that?
Just go to racetothefinishthemovie.com and you can buy it. They're $15 each, or $15 each. 2 for $25 or 3 for $30, and you can download the study guide for free. You don't even have to buy the DVD. We're giving away the study guide, and also, just as importantly, we're going into schools and correctional. We've even done public schools where we go in and do our A public school called me in New York and said, "We want you to come and do your seminar." I said, "You understand that this is faith-based?" The principal said, "I don't care. Our kids need this. I saw you at my church." And so there you go. This is the kind of entertainment and the people that you do welcome into your living rooms. Yeah, just go to racetothefinishthemovie.com, or you can call me personally at 412-855-1330.
Well, my dear brother, we thank you so much for sharing this with us. Race, give us the exact website again.
It's www.racetothefinishthemovie.com.
All right, folks, racetothefinishmovie.com.
Race to the Finish, the movie.
The movie. Thank you. Thank you so much for clarifying that. And, brother, I want to tell you that we are here to be a part of this. I also want to tell you that if you'll get us a copy of that, we will be glad to play it here at our church and in our community. And I would assume that's permissible, right?
Yes, I'll put it in the mail today to you, Wiley.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. If you purchase, and my goodness, $15, that's nothing. If you purchase this movie and you watch it at home or your church, and you would like to come on the Wiley Drake Show and tell us about your experience, your church, your family, your community, we will be more than happy to allow you to be booked on the Wiley Drake Show, which is around the world. We're on 5 days a week. We do 2 shows a day, one at 12 noon and one at 8 p.m. And we also do one at 11 a.m. Live from New York on Wednesday. So we actually do a total of 11 shows every week. And if you would like to call and say, hey, I purchased the movie, I got the DVD, I played it, and this is how it affected me and my family or my church. Now, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm a preacher, folks, and I practice what I preach. As soon as I get this DVD, we're going to play it in one of our services here at the church. And I'm going to ask people, I'm going to give them a pencil and a piece of paper, and I'm going to ask them to give us a critique of this movie after they've seen it and to share. And I'm going to offer some of them, if they would like, to come live in our studio and tell about watching it, tell about seeing it, we'll give them that opportunity. Now, if you purchase this, I'm going to give you the same opportunity. Now, obviously, we're in California, so if you want to come in the studio in person on camera, you have to come to Buena Park, California. But even if you can't do that, if you play the movie and you would like to come on the show, all you've got to do is call my producer. My producer's name is Corey Harkins. You can reach her by email, CoriHarkins, Corey Harkins at Gmail. Simply send her an email and say, I saw the movie. I saw the movie, and I'd like to book myself to come on the Wiley Drake Show for 5 or 10 minutes, whatever you need. Come on the show and say, I saw the movie, and here's my critique of the movie. Here's what I saw, here's what I experienced, and we'll be more than happy to let you critique it here on the Wiley Drake Show. Simply send an email to Corey Harkins, CoriHarkins, Corey Harkins, at gmail.com, Corey Harkins at gmail.com, and say to her, I want to be booked on the Wiley Drake Show. Give her your phone number, your email, and she will schedule you, give you an 800 number that you can call in on, and you can call in just like Greg has done here, and you can tell us your opinion, your critique of the movie, and we encourage you to do that. In the very near future, we'll be advertising when we're going to show this in our church, and we will encourage folk in our audience to fill out a paper that gives a report on their experiencing it. So please do that.
If you like it, I'll give you a couple. I'll send you some to give away.
All right, that will be fine. We'll be fine. Now, Greg, let me ask you one more time. Give our listening audience your name, your organization, and then the website where they can find it.
My name is Greg Robbins. I'm a Christian filmmaker, and it's racetothefinish.themovie.com, or you can call me at 412-855-1330. I'm in the East Coast.
All right. We thank you so much, Greg, for coming on with us. Want to remind you that tonight at 8 p.m. East Coast time, we will be doing another live Wiley Drake show, and you're welcome to call in again on that show because, in all honesty, some of the folk that are listening right now and watching right now will also listen and watch tonight, but most of the audience tonight will be an entirely new audience. So I would encourage you to call back about 8:30 East Coast time, and let's do this again.
Yes, sir. I'll talk to you then.
All right, Greg. Thank you so much. God bless you. Have a great day.
Bless you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Race to the Finish, the movie. We would encourage you to get your copy, and we would encourage you to come on our show and talk about it. We're going to be showing it. I'm not sure exactly. I don't know how long it'll take that film to get to me, but I would guess that this week is pretty well shot for us. But I will be showing that movie, and we'll give you a report on it. Hello, this is Wiley Drake. You're live on the Wiley Drake Show. Go right ahead.
Wiley, I'm sorry, it's Greg Robbins again. I called the wrong number. I was trying to find out your address to send you a DVD. My apologies.
That's okay, no problem. I'll give you the address. The address is, just send it to Wiley Drake, and the address is 6801 Western Avenue. So it's 6801 Western Avenue. And the city is Buena, that's B as in boy, B-U-E-N-A, Buena Park, California, 90621.